Hi Virgo, I'm Lisi the High Priestess, and this can resonate in past, present, or future conversations that you're having. Synchronicity. Press like, subscribe, notification bell. The notification bell, you can get my lives. If not, you have to wait 12 hours. I see you pulling out a couple of books from a yogi to another yogi. Okay, understanding science. I'm going to do something different, which I feel like you need to know. Divine. Also, I hear a password. Okay. um you appreciate the knowledge that you're getting. Also, I feel like someone appreciates science, okay, because science can teach you a lot. Okay, science ain't always the devil. We've needed science to progress as human beings. You're learning new experiences. Okay, sometimes I feel like someone could be actually going to school for school of Scientology. What are you learning in school? Okay, someone's going part-time college. Okay, science is very significant in someone's life right here. Okay, human life. Okay, so I feel like someone could be working at Planned Parenthood or something that has like, someone could be in the baby department or something like that. um your soul. Okay, so if someone here works at a hospital where babies are born, okay, so if you're like, you could be a caregiver or something like that. You're watching these children be born, so like the science of it all fascinates you. Rebirth fascinates someone right here, okay? Or just like the human anatomy, how a woman's body can open up and give life, how we can create life. Also, I had seen, what was it? Some a famous rapper or something like that. He was saying like, life is different when you're actually creating a life versus creating a life artificially, because the act of creating life gives you a whole different experience where you know you participated in that creation. It wasn't done through science, it was done through natural human selection. Okay, also I feel like if someone is working in the department where the birthing center, okay, just watching a new soul be born and watching parents, like I feel like your discernment on the parents. Okay, I feel like you watch what kind of parents are giving birth. You always place opinion on your head on how a little child's life journey is going to be. Also, I feel like if you are a high priestess and you're working in the birthing center, okay, you probably have a high vibrating energy, because one of the most high vibrating energies you can ever find, you can find it in a child. Okay, so I also feel like you can tell on a child's future when you're helping. Like, you get flashes while you're helping someone give birth. You get flashes on every child that comes out. You know their future. You may not say this to the doctors, to anyone around you, but subconsciously in your head you can see the future they will have. Okay, real advancements means knowing God, because it is something godly to see a child be born. Imagine watching the, like, who would have known that you helped birth the next president? Who would have known that you were helped the next um astronomer, the next like, you were there to birth them. Also, maybe the act of you creating a life, that in the future will become very, very, like, even the act of you creating a child and you knowing that your child's future is protected because they have divine gifts inside of them. So someone here, someone's child is going to be like someone very famous, someone very in, like, you could be reading to your child. If you're pregnant, if you have a baby in you, you're reading to your child, hoping that that you're reading can be instilled in your child while they're inside of you. Okay, the supreme personality. Okay, so I feel like Someone here also thanks God for allowing you to reproduce, to recreate, to procreate a child. Okay, also, if someone here could be in the art of Scientology of humankind. Ooh, what kind of doctor are you? Okay, I feel like someone has a PhD in Scientology right here. Okay, the birthing experience, someone could be doing like a documentary on it, or someone is studying this, studying children, studying the divination that a child holds from the moment they're born. Okay, the process of being like in your mommy's womb coming out also reminds me of like National Geographic. Like, have you ever seen those documentaries that they have on an elephant baby, on a dog baby, on a cat baby, like the evolution of it growing in its stomach, and then when it comes out, and then that experience through that? Okay, evolution is what I hear. Understanding spiritual sense, your understanding. You're trying to understand the connection of giving life. If someone offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or a little water, I will accept it. Okay. So, like, ha- being able to have that joy of recreating a child or participating in evolution, procreation, not through science, but through the actual act, practicing yoga. Okay, so someone could definitely be doing yoga while they're trying to okay, because like I said, if you're working at a birthing center, women that are about to give labor, they tend to sit on the yoga ball so the baby's head can crown. Okay, you do know that in certain religions yoga is against, it's against the religion, their belief. But yet, when someone is literally about to have a baby, they recommend for someone to sit on a yoga ball so it can help life go down into, um, I think it's the sacral area. Okay. Who's a doula or a midwife right here? Okay. You could be present for someone delivery. Okay. Also, you know, maybe you're hitting an anniversary where someone gave birth, or you gave birth to someone, and your memories are flooding into your head about a child. Okay. Okay, may I put one question to you? Have you many branches of your society in the world? So your DNA, what are you passing down to your future? Okay, creating your own family tree, creating a legacy. It all starts with a child, a screaming child that comes out of a woman's vagina. The woman's vagina looks like a zero, looks like a hole, looks like a portal, the portal of giving life. Okay, the human form of life is meant for God's realization. It's amazing how we create energy inside of us. That energy is of God. Okay, so I see you praying over your stomach or praying for this child. Also, I feel like midwives and doulas will always tell you, they'll chant with you that everything's going to be okay. Do breathing treatments, breathing treatments. You know, all of this is yoga. So I feel like the act of doing certain things to bring a child into the world could contradict what certain religions say you shouldn't practice, when indeed Scientology, science will tell you that certain things like yoga will help you improve a labor experience. Perfection. Okay, so the spiritual master is also kind that begs from door to door, country to country, town to town. Okay, so giving information, okay, passing down information to maybe a child that is giving birth. and you're like, you have to breathe, you have to use the yoga, like, so I feel like DNA helix, DNA generations, generation, what has been practiced from a mother to a mother to a mother to a mother, you get to see that if you're working there in that certain area, you get to see what kind of mothers are there for their brand new mothers, how men act, how everything, like it's a brand new experience for you every single day. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, because what if you see two parents who you know damn well are on drugs, and you know they're giving life to this child, and you can see that, like, you know, that child's going to be taken away from those parents as soon as they give birth. Okay, the Empress, yeah, because there's a woman pregnant right here giving birth to a child. The King of Swords, there's the doctor right there. And the Moon card, like someone's on pills right here. You know, like it's such a beautiful experience when you see good parents and you know that that children is going to be very blessed with a good opportunity at life. But it's also very unfortunate when you're helping birth a child to two parents who are battling on drugs. You can clearly tell there is a very unhealthy household, and you have to let that child go with their parent, even if they're drunks or not, or you know, every situation is different, because I mean, clearly if they've been on drugs the whole time during their pregnancy, and because they do give you UAs, I know this, I've had 3 kids, so I would know they UA you, okay, to see what kind of drugs you're on. And some of these drugs, being pregnant and on these drugs, alcoholism and stuff like that, giving birth to children who have you know, certain diseases behind their parents doing drugs. Okay. So I feel like the whole science and the whole spiritual part of that, also the whole divination, and you know, you actually participating on the birthing, you know, experience. Um, you get to see the shadow and the light, the death card. It's usually the, you know, the new beginnings and the ending of something. For some people, the first time that they see their children, their whole life changes around. And for some other people, they just continue the generational curse with a little child that knows no better. You know, they're born so innocent, some of the most purest divine energies in the child. And people who are not ready to give that kind of life, you know, can kill a life spiritually as they grow up, teaching these children that there is no hope for life. What is their hope on being when a little child like that is in your stomach and you still kill it with bad habits, disregarding life? Okay. I feel like someone does have a real tough job because, like I said, even though it's one of the most beautiful things that you can see is giving life, you know, you get to see the person that's connected that's pushing that life out. Okay. And so, with that alone, you get to see a little bit of a future for this child, or you could see how tough they're going to have it. And sometimes protocol and certain things in life is very hard for someone, like when those results come back and you know they're going to take away that child, and you know that child's already, the chances of it having a bright future get a little bit lower, because people who don't appreciate that little light of mine place darkness over it. And while we're trying to protect it from getting into that kind of energy, it can make you feel some kind of way, because you know, even the detachment of a mother from a child can be very detrimental to that little baby. Do you know scientifically that a child can die out of a lack of love? Scientifically proven. When Hitler did a bunch of testing on pregnant women during his era, yeah, they did a lot of testing on pregnant women. One of the testing that they did was sewing up a woman while she was giving labor to her child, to see how much pain that woman can endure and how a baby can die. Like, that was some real graphic things that Hitler was doing to humans. The lack of empathy to a human. Thank God that Hitler never reproduced a child. Imagine coming from that. Sometimes it's passed down in the DNA helix to not have empathy for others. And one of them starts with a parent that's on drugs that has zero empathy for a child's growth, alcohol, other things. There's a lot more than just drugs. Being in an abusive home, a prostitute giving um, birth to a child and not knowing who the father is and going back into prostitution, like if they never even gave birth. Those are some of the sad examples of working so closely to children, because you don't always have to work at the maternity area. You could work for CPS, you could work for DSHS, you could work in a medical field, and clearly you could see in a child's eyes their pain. And then at a very at a young age, these parents teach their children to deal with their pain and never speak about it. So even if you were to ask, do they hurt you? Did they do things, anything malicious towards you? They will teach them to be quiet. Great lessons learned in orphanages. The disregard of human life. Although those had parents, careless parents. I don't know where I'm getting with all of this, but all I know is that someone has a very difficult job, and it's a beautiful job, but a very difficult one, because choosing um, the a good welfare for a child can be very deceiving for some. Okay, because these people come in here, oh, I'm giving life, all of this. No, I'm not on drugs. Everything is opposite, then you prove it. And then, like I said from the very beginning, you see a child's future become less, 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 um, but then again, there is people, for example, Marilyn Monroe. She was an orphan and she survived all of that, but it really messed with her mentally. She became a star, but that star suffered a lot. Not having a home, not being able to conceive and keep a child. Maybe it was due to all the alcohol and all the drugs, but that's a perfect example. But I feel like someone here is like a high priestess or someone that has a divine gift. Um, and I feel like you can see a child's future. And I feel like your discernment it works very good for you, because I feel like you can actually, every time you touch a child, you can see what kind of parents they're going to have, how their future is going to be, and you act accordingly to what you see in a child. And I feel like that's a blessing, because I feel like whatever you decide for the best of that child so they can become the best version of themselves, whether they're with their parents or they're not. I feel like you have healing hands. And just by your sacred touch, it gives a child a brighter future. Blessings to you.